27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What do you got to eat? Here, guys. Ooh. What's this say? I don't know. What's that say? I know, but I'm not gonna tell. I think it says it's good.
Conjecture Hoops contains all the presumptions, assumptions, and off-the-wall postulations a growing kid needs. Conjecture Hoops, a big bowl of bullshit.
Hello?
Hello.
Did you just? I love that music. That. Oh, I knew you used. What's going on? Yeah.
The video froze for me, so hopefully I didn't end it before it ended.
Yeah, you did, but it doesn't matter.
Bit, yeah, I was
Well,
rocking along with it.
It's in keeping with the themes of the show, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Did the intro play?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It went
Who's
and then it just cut to us like that.
Who's responsible for that anyway?
Making it.
Yeah, I
Me.
love that.
Me,
nice.
baby.
Nice. That's all me, baby.
I thought it was
Well,
like
I do-
when a sitcom's been running for a long time, they shorten
Only
the
opposites,
intro,
man.
don't they? So it's,
They do, but those sitcoms have thousands of viewers, millions. We have. Oh, what you saying that 3 episodes ago we got 1,200 viewers. So
You still can't get over that, can you?
No,
no, no,
that's been like in syndication for us.
Yeah.
Why
I'll
US
tell you
counterparts?
That is pretty damn good, yeah.
Thank you.
Righty.
You're right there, Ben.
Well, shit. If you want, I'll
Oh,
just
thank
play the intro again.
It's okay.
No, it's the sign of a successful thing. The shorter the intro,
Sure.
everyone knows who we are
Well-
now. Oh, he's gone.
That's the end of the show.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Thank you for showing up, everyone. Aria's having
This
a-
happened last week, didn't it?
It totally did, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back on in his streamline form. Here he
is.
comes now.
He's in Colombia, isn't he? So he has proper issues.
Colombia.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
we're comic
yeah.
collectors. We all have issues.
Sorry, boys. I
I'll
had
get my coat. I'll get my
I had some
chaqueta.
programs running in the background that I've just
Always
closed.
switch off X Hamster before you start the show. I've had this conversation before.
It's the Colombian government. They're
Yeah.
looking in on you. Yeah,
yeah.
blocking you.
Too many penises.
Yeah, the X hamster takes a lot of fucking bandwidth.
It
there,
doesn't work.
there. Now I'm able to interact with the show. All right, so
Hey.
we're talking about X-Men.
Yeah.
Arya's not in the show yet, but he says he's missing out. So the cool thing about that, Arya, is when you click the StreamYard link, then you come on the show, and then you don't miss out.
But
So yeah,
did you get a chance to read any of the X-Men story arcs that I recommended, or no?
Well, define the term read.
You looked at the pictures.
Yeah. If I read, you mean very, very quickly thumb through and Well, I read the first 2 issues of Executioner's Song.
Yeah.
And then I realized that it was about 12 issues long.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
basically
yeah.
sort of kind of sped read through the
Yeah.
rest of them. And
where did you get to? Was Strife in it?
No.
No, Strife hadn't turned up in Executioner's Song yet.
So who's Strife?
Well,
Strife is like he appears as another character with a mask on and stuff, and he basically beats the fuck out of Apocalypse and all of his guys. Anyway, you find out later on in the story that it's when he takes his mask off that it's a clone of Cable.
Okay,
It's
Cable.
all like a time. The whole story is like a time loop.
So the story is a time loop. Can you show me that? Do you have that?
yeah,
What do you mean?
I
Do
was
have a
worried
time
you were
loop?
going to ask me about the specifics of the plot. I
I'll get
was reading it and looking after a 2-year-old at the time. I know that's my excuse for absolutely everything these days.
Oh, I just no word of a lie. Yeah, I just put
No,
I
that's
just went to put Executioner's Song into Google, and the first thing that came up was X Hamster.
Executioner's Hamster.
They're listening to you.
Oh no, it's a hamster.
No, I think that's based on previous searches. So, sure.
There was another one as well called Age of Apocalypse. Have you heard of that one?
No.
I mean, I've heard of it. I didn't read it.
I know the character Apocalypse.
Yeah, that was the first time I think I'd seen a separate. So it's basically a separate timeline if Apocalypse had taken over the world of mutants, and in doing so had killed Professor Xavier before the X-Men could form. So because that happened, Magneto forms the X-Men, and he actually becomes the leader of the X-Men. Logan is like a nomad. He's not part of the X-Men. He's with Jean Grey.
When you say with, do you mean with?
Yeah, they've got a relationship, and they sort of wander the wasteland. Yeah. It's basically like Terminator 2. They sort of wander the wasteland together. And then he'd previously had a fight with Scott Summers over her, which left Logan with like an adamantium stump with his blades coming out, so he lost his hand, and Cyclops loses one eye, so on his visor he's just got one ruby.
Is it the definition of a Cyclops like a one-eyed creature?
Yeah, he becomes
kind of makes more sense, right? Kind of makes more sense. Yeah, because like
Cyclops isn't a Cyclops.
Yeah,
right. But like he's only a Cyclops when he's wearing like his visor, right? So like it kind of, I always took it to mean that his persona as an X-Men in costume, that's called Cyclops, right?
Yeah. So the whole dynamic is completely flipped. So I think Sabretooth is basically takes Logan's part in the X-Men.
Right.
And Scott Summers is a bad guy. Beast is like an evil professor. Yeah, it's really good.
That's crazy.
So you say it's the first time you read an alternate timeline story in a comic book, because that's kind of a staple now.
Yeah. I'm sure they did it. I'm sure they did stuff like that before that. It was just my first introduction to it when I was like, oh shit, you can do this sort of thing with like pre-existing characters. It was totally fascinating to see.
Did you read it when it was first out then?
I think it's probably out in the mid to late 90s, and I think I read it in about 98. So I was probably a little late.
Yeah, but closer than we are now.
Yeah, and then of course they did the X-Men movie Age of Apocalypse, which is nothing to do with the Age of Apocalypse. It's just shit. The Age of Shit.
So
you're not a fan then?
That's why I didn't read it, because I saw the movie and I was like, well, this story doesn't seem very interesting at all.
No, it's nothing to do
that it would have
that movie. Yeah,
I assumed it would at least have the main thread.
Yeah, I mean, it's as close to it's probably less close to the original story as the film Logan is to Logan, the book Old Man Logan, where it's like it's got a sprinkle of the premise, but they don't go in any of the same directions as the comic book does, which to its detriment, really. I mean, Logan, I thought was a good film.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But it would have been a lot better if it had been like Old Man Logan, like a lot better.
When you talk about Logan the book, is that the one where he's in Japan?
No, so Logan the book is basically Old Man Logan, so he's past his prime. This is another sort of alternate one. The X-Men have gone. Most superheroes have gone. They're dead. It's like a bit of a Mad Max sort of landscape. Logan lives in like a hick village. He just keeps himself to himself, and he rents his property from the hick children of the Hulk, who are like,
are they green?
They are green, and they can't ever change. They're always like massive, and they're basically like really stupid but super strong rednecks, and they keep going and sort of terrorizing Logan and his family to pay.
But he rents property from them.
He rents property from them, yeah. And
Hulk,
so the whole beginning,
door smash, you pay.
yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much like that. So the whole beginning of the book is like Logan's refusal, like flat out refusal to
pay a
fight.
security deposit.
He just won't fight them. You like, no matter how horrible they are, no matter what they do to him, he refuses to sort of give in to his primal rage. And the reason for that is, I mean, there's a twist later on, but you a little bit like the movie, he believes that he murdered the X-Men because all the X-Men are dead, and he did murder the X-Men, but there's a reason that he's unaware of. So he's responsible for the death of all the X. One day he goes into a berserker rage basically, and just fucking kills all the X-Men. So he's sort of racked by guilt, and then he goes to the ends of the earth and decides he's never going to be violent again. Of course, he is eventually, and it's brilliant. It's really, really good when he is.
Well, how do they play it in the film? Because is it that he thinks he's responsible for the death of the X-Men?
Well, yeah, it's
nice.
It's not very interesting. There's no Hulk in it, obviously.
No. There's loads of different Avengers. Like Spider-Man's granddaughter's in it as well, and she's horrible. And Hawkeye's in it, and he's only got one arm.
That's kind of hard, isn't it?
Yeah, the Venom symbiote is like lives in the desert, and it just latches onto different animals and stuff. It's like everyone's down and out. But yeah, in the film, Professor Xavier hints that Logan is responsible for the death of the X-Men, but then because he's sort of senile. But then later on, you find out that it was actually Professor Xavier that killed all the X-Men. He had like he had a psychic break.
Yeah, because he's suffering from dementia, but he also has the most powerful psychic powers in the world. So
exactly,
it kind of throws everything off, because as a result, Logan forces himself into retirement because he has an incorrect idea of his powers. So he thinks that he needs to protect people from his powers, but in reality, the world needs his powers. Because like the whole superhero equilibrium is thrown off by his absence. It's kind of like an ecosystem kind of situation. So then like Hulk is out of control because he's the strongest because there's no Logan. You know what I mean?
Right. And then I'd recommend I like the Logan film, but I'd recommend the Old Man Logan book if you've not read it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it is really good. And the movie was just kind of boring in my mind. Like I don't think it's a bad movie, but nothing interesting happens compared to Old Man Logan.
No, but it's on a. It felt like it was like they made Unforgiven, didn't they? With except with Wolverine.
kind of, and I don't know. It didn't do it. It didn't do it for me. That movie.
You weren't into it?
Yeah,
I would never repeat that movie. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah, no,
about it
I have
that I would look forward to seeing again. Or something.
Yeah, I felt I thought it was a good film, but I felt no compulsion to rewatch it since I first watched it.
I watched it.
What are we talking about, guys?
We're talking about
Old Man Logan.
Man Logan,
X-Men.
Black Arianis.
The white iron.
Yes.
Yeah, Old Man Logan was pretty cool. I don't know. What's your favorite, guys? What's your favorite X-Men movie then?
Days of Future Past.
I don't like
the
the movies,
Yeah.
actually. I don't care for any of them.
Now, was Days of Future Past like the comic?
No.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Seems to be a pattern going on here, right?
A little bit. A little bit.
Man, the X-Men movies, man, they just feel wrong. Every single one of them.
Right.
Well, yeah.
like X-Men to me.
Yeah, this is it. There seems to be the X-Men comic fans and the X-Men movie fans, and there's very little crossover.
Never
Well,
did.
the thing is with the X-Men films specifically, like the first one came out in a time where it wasn't done to sort of make a superhero film with the sort of aesthetical quality being close to the comic book, because it was deemed to be sort of ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So when that, even though at the time it was probably the closest thing we'd ever got to a decent comic book movie, because that's its basis. Like, obviously, it can only grow from there. If they all started wearing the suits after that, it would have been a bit jarring, maybe. I mean, the last three were kind of they kind of didn't know what they wanted to do. They wanted to like be the Avengers and be the old X-Men, and it doesn't. It's kind of confusing, especially the last couple. They were shit, like really shit.
And the timeline doesn't work at all.
Yeah, the timeline doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, they're all. I think they start off in the 60s, but the last one they're in the 90s.
Yeah,
but you know, you got characters like Quicksilver who hasn't
Jennifer
aged a day
Lawrence
in 20 years.
In those movies, is she Jennifer Lawrence is Mystique, right?
Yeah, and they try and shunt her to the foreground of every film to make her the main character.
Silly. Like,
she's not the fucking main character.
I don't.
Well, she wasn't when she made the first one. She
bro.
wasn't Jennifer Lawrence. You know, she was just an actor in the film. So she was playing a villain. But at the last one, she'd blown up. The Hunger Games had happened.
Right. So
they shunted to the front. Anymore. She can't be a villain, and she rarely appears in the makeup as well. So it's like, how is this the same character? Yeah,
it's not the same character.
That's one of the problems with the X-Men movies as a whole, is that probably due to budget, characters like Mystique won't be blue the whole time. Characters like Beast, instead of being a big furry Wookiee,
if you say furry,
he's in a jumpsuit, so he's got big furry hands and a big furry head, and then Wolverine's the worst offender of all because he doesn't put on his yellow and blue suit, and that's just unforgivable. So.
Yeah, they sort of turn Beast
unforgivable,
into so we can turn it into the Beast and back from the Beast whenever he wants. Which is completely antithetical to the fucking character, because the character is supposed to be constantly wanting to be human again.
I was going to use those words in that order.
I thought Kelsey Grammer in the third film was a pretty good
Kelsey
Beast.
Grammer was brilliant.
Yeah, he was the best choice for him.
Way better than Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, when they do the first Beast interaction with Nicholas Hoult, they proper fuck up the makeup as well. There's like a point where he's looking at the screen and he's got his contact lenses in wrong, and one's like looking that way and one's that way. He's like that. He looks really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Bad filmmaking.
Kelsey Grammer, Frasier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's not
a great film, but it's a great piece of casting. You know, he's probably one of the best things about that film.
What are you gonna say, Ben?
I was gonna say that when they make these movies about the X-Men, they always feel like they can just do a different version of the character and it's fine. Like they have permission somehow. But like Max was saying, the changes that they make, they're not just cosmetic. They're changing essential qualities of the character to the point where it doesn't even make sense to call them the same to even like say these are the X-Men, because it's nothing to do with X-Men now.
Well, that's something you're not going to have to worry about from what I'm hearing anymore, Ben, because the next bunch of films aren't going to be called the X-Men. They're going to be called the Mutants, right?
The
Which
please.
I was reading up today was going to be the original title for the X-Men back in the 60s, but it was worried that nobody knew what a mutant was. Right. So Stanley came up with X-Men.
Yeah, but
because everybody knows what an X-Men
is. The thing about that is that he didn't call it the Mutants, he called it the fucking X-Men.
There's
so
probably a
the
reason
film
for
should
that.
be called
the
X-Men. I don't care what he was gonna call it because he didn't.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just it's a little bit of trivia.
And there's so many names as well derived from X, right? There's fucking X-Force. There's Generation X, which is my favorite like offshoot of the X-Men.
Excalibur.
Right? And there's there's other ones.
Exit.
Yeah.
There's the new generation or something.
Exit.
Yeah.
There's the New Mutants.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't they do
that one? You're right. That one doesn't have the X.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's got the word mutants in it.
Flavor. It's got the X-Men flavor in that one, for sure.
Was it really the best move to actually call them the X-Men? Because, I mean, they do appear last in the Yellow Pages.
That's one way to look at it.
Oh my God, we need some superheroes.
And now with the internet,
Avengers. Right on page 1.
Now with the internet, the Yellow Pages are irrelevant. So right, but yeah, I should definitely call them the Mutants then, because of the Yellow Page thing.
It kind of brings up.
Does anybody under the age of 40 and not a Brit know what the Yellow Page? Oh yeah,
the Americans do.
Americans have the American Pages. Yeah.
The American. We also call them the Yellow Pages. We don't call them the American Pages.
Hey, if you got the American Pages, you got the Yellow Pages. I don't want the Yellow Pages, you British fuck.
The Americans even say the White Pages, which is something that Brits very rarely do, right? We just call it the telephone book, right?
Yeah, telephone book,
yeah. Oh, well, then the telephone book's something different. That's for...
I'm pretty sure that's...
residential is
business,
White Pages.
Residential, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do say White Pages.
Why are we talking about the Yellow Pages?
The first distraction of the day goes to Rob.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to change the thumbnail of this show.
It's like Wolverine flicking through the Yellow Pages.
Big book of Yellow Pages
Pages
into cereal.
Going back to Wolverine.
Well, it is a nostalgia show, right? Hey, you guys remember Yellow Pages?
Do you remember J.R. Hartley?
I remember J.R.
Yes, it's by J.R. Hartley. Oh, you do.
Do you have a copy of Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley? Nah, shit. No one buys it.
I'm waiting for the film to come out.
Yeah.
Now we're doing proper nostalgia.
Yeah.
If no one else is gonna share their screen, I'll share.
I can do, but it's kind of very specific to what I actually read. That's
why what I want.
Fair enough.
What did you read, Rob?
What did you read?
I started reading the books or the issues leading up to Days of Future Past, and I actually got as far as getting into Days of Future Past. So
before the future past, so the present.
No.
So isn't it? What was Ellie Page's character called?
Elliot Page, Shadowcat.
Shadowcat.
What am I looking for? Hang on a sec. I got it.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, I forgot she was.
It's called her Elliot.
So does it make me gay if I thought he was cute when he was a girl? Like, how does that work?
Well, he was always a man, right?
So that means I'm gay because I thought he was cute when he was a woman.
Oh, do you write a lot of poetry, and do you have like a really thick sweater in the winter? Or am I just going way?
Oh yes, I remember this.
These are the days of future past.
This one is one of the most copied and parodied covers of the X-Men, isn't it?
Yes.
This one?
Yeah,
Iconic,
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
They're
In
all
fact,
fucking
what was
dead.
it? Who was it? Was it RJ of Critical Blast who recently used
You're thinking of Dojo-kun because you put Taylor on it.
Dojo Kun? Yeah, it was. Yeah. We were talking about this a few weeks ago, weren't we?
I
What
want to
did he
do
do?
a famous cover for Rokan, and I can't.
Matthew,
put-
Spawn.
Just
Right?
get that off them.
The Spawn
Well-
cover where Spawn's like this or whatever.
Okay, we'll do that.
Like Rokan.
Or
And
even
he's holding
the
and instead of the flame thing, he's like holding a sword, but in the same pose.
first
Yeah.
ever Star Wars movie poster. See what you can do with that.
What, the floating heads?
Well, we already have one kind of like that.
Yeah.
You're
That's
thinking
really
of Luke
kick ass.
with Leia by his knees and
Yeah, he's with his sister clinging onto his
his
thighs.
sister,
Yes.
and his rippling abs under his robe.
Yeah, he's Luke Skywalker's fucking massive on that poster. Oh no
And,
way! You've
that's not
made
an
you've
original
made a
panel.
tentative link to Weird Science.
I totally have. Yeah, very tentative. And Word Science came out 5 years after the Days of Future Past did.
So obviously
No way.
inspired by that character.
Yeah.
Weird Science, man. What a film!
I know, eh? Yeah, I watched that. I think I was about 16 years old.
Did anyone try and build a woman after that on your computer?
Did you
'Cause
know
I
there
did.
was a TV series?
Yes, I did.
I remember the TV series. Yeah.
Was that a
I-
TV series?
There was a TV
Yes.
series, and
Max
I've
as a
only
kid,
seen like half
he's
an
got-
episode.
He's got
12
Crassel
episodes to
Grayskull made out of cardboard. He's got a girl from Weird Science made out of cardboard.
And here's one I made
I
earlier.
tried to make a woman on my ZX Spectrum 81, and
I
it
like
didn't
the fact
work.
that John
Even though
Hughes
it was the
knew-
Spectrum Plus.
Yeah. He knew absolutely nothing about computers. I mean, I think that the science or the reasoning in the film is, let's just ask the computer questions about how you build a woman, and it will tell us.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even do that. They just sort of sit down and make a woman. They're just software geniuses. They hack into a governmental hard drive and use their power to create a woman.
Yeah, but the computer knows how to do this, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah,
just say how to
they,
build a
and
woman.
they've just got some
Computers
software
are
that can
smart,
give her
you
bigger
see.
tits on it.
Mm.
I think what comes out is invalid parameters when you try to make a woman using a ZX Spectrum.
I think basically what happened was I got
The
everything
invalid
together.
parameter.
I hooked up my ZX Spectrum. I got a tape recorder. I sat down. I put a bra on my head, and then I was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do.
The crazy thing is, Bill Paxman, wasn't it?
Yeah, the brother.
When he went shit, as
Chet the shit, yeah.
Kelly LeBrock called him. Like years later, you saw other things, and then it was only like later you realize, oh god, that's that guy from Weird Science. It was like the characters are totally different. Yeah.
Most famously for me, obviously, he was in Aliens, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's dead now, isn't he? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died about 5 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, shit. Rip Hudson.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, what did you say? You read Days of Future Past or Leading?
No, because basically I found what is it the paperback version, and I thought I was going to get straight into it if I started reading from the front. I should have just gone all straight to that part, Days of Future Past, because the first issue was really what was it? It was a recap of the history of the X-Men. It was Jean Grey's death,
right?
And Cyclops. I've made some kind of notes and stuff here, so I'll be flipping back and forth.
Do it.
But these inner monologues.
That's a cool panel with the with
It's
Nightcrawler jumping by.
That's why I totally put those together.
That
That's
one, yeah, I like that.
excellent, isn't it? These
I like
fight
that
scenes
shit.
with the Wendigo are excellent.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah. So that's why I thought, oh yeah, these are really good. This Wendigo figure, and I mean, check that.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Also artistically excellent.
They put him in a leather jumpsuit if he was in the movie. He just had
They did, didn't they?
No.
It's a shame because that's a really fun costume that he's got. You know, with the big shoulders, the spiky shoulders. You know,
this one, yeah. Mind you, when you look at it like this, it looks like he's wearing like a Jane Fonda leotard from the 1980s, right?
You have to embrace it. Like,
it's fine. If you think about it, like, can you just scroll down a little bit so we can see Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
I'm gonna school you on something. So like his tail, I'll scroll up where you can see his tail really good if you don't mind, just a little bit.
One there, and with that one you can't. Yeah, you can.
That one's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So his tail is spiky, right?
Yeah.
His tail is the same shape as the red triangle that is like the basic motif of his costume, right?
Right.
So his entire wardrobe is like basically emerging from that shape to indicate that that's what makes him special, is that he has this like demon tail. You know, people misunderstand him as a demon. So
have you seen that photo?
There's even spikes on his boots and his gloves. Sorry, last part. That was the last thing.
Yeah. Live long and prosper, right?
Exactly, dude.
Yeah, like he was the original Spock impersonator, huh?
Because like when people see over the top costumes nowadays, because like now for some reason our generation has a really sensible way of dressing, which annoys me. But like when we see these weird, like in the 90s, people dressed in like with louder colors and in a more expressive way. And the thing about these costumes is like from a modern lens, they seem silly, but there's a symbolic meaning usually to the form of the costume, you know, and like that adds to the whole over the top nature of each character, which I think is lacking nowadays, to be honest.
Right. I always think that when the imagery of a comic story like that is extremely prominent, I'd like to see, and I know they tried to do this in X-Men a little bit. It was probably one of the only good decisions that they made about some of those films, but having them as more period pieces, like I would like to see a 1960s version of the Fantastic Four.
In the film.
Have it set then, like, because
that's a good idea.
I've always thought a 1930s set version of Superman would work really well.
It would probably make the like technology more believable, right? Because
that's a great idea.
When they do Iron Man now and it's set in like 2022, the technology he's got is like magic almost. So if it's Fantastic Four in the 50s, and then like the crazy spaceship that they made, you know, wasn't that much further advanced than the space shuttle. Maybe be a bit more grounded, you know.
Yeah, well, it would add elements of that. I just think that when there's real grounding in stories to the time that they were made, you should probably think about going back, and if you're going to make a film of it, you should probably think about that as well, because it will make the film resonate more. They did it somewhat with
they do it
right?
when they
in the 80s.
Yeah, they did it with Watchmen, you know, set it in the 80s.
Yeah, and that works as well.
But they do it with novels, really why not with comic books, you know? Set it in the period it was written.
Yeah, exactly. I think that might. I think you solved comic book movies, Max. And like, particularly when we talk about the Fantastic Four, like that kind of their origin story only makes sense in that time period, because like nowadays, if they made that movie now, like going into outer space is like nothing. Like we have satellites there all the time.
Yeah.
So like it's not. You'd have to change the whole origin and make it something more extravagant because like
it'll be another dimension, won't it?
Yeah, it'd have to be something more than just taking a
Yeah.
fucking space shuttle around the moon. Like that's no big deal now, you know.
Just wanted to say,
or am I nitpicking? I don't know.
No, I think I'm more of a focus on the time period that the stories are created when you're thinking about making the film. It would definitely enrich the movie more, I think.
A 60s Spider-Man, I think, would work as
yeah,
well.
See, brilliant.
Or the whole
where him being at school and sort of, having the dual lifestyle between being at school and being Spider-Man probably makes even more sense. Like, when you add the
whole
computer
worry about radiation and
there's no internet,
when you add the internet nerd aspect into Peter Parker, even though it works, I just don't like it. I know better as the old school nerd.
Well, like the whole idea of him like hiding his secret identity kind of doesn't make sense in an internet world.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's this generation's take on Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's shit.
Yeah, but fuck this generation.
Yeah, but we're old men.
That was the panel I was thinking of.
Yeah,
that one you can really see.
Yeah. Have you seen that photo of a squirrel that's like on a bird feeder and he gets his balls stuck? I can just imagine that happening with his tail, like he just can't, gets his tail caught on something.
Imagine if he had massive blue balls.
He probably does.
Who's to say he doesn't?
Well, that's a tight costume.
There is a drawing somewhere deep in the archives at Marvel of a naked Nightcrawler, and he has 3 giant blue balls.
And they can teleport wherever in the room.
No, every time he teleports, it's the balls that disappear last.
Just the balls.
Each ball is a triangle.
Oh god! Triangle balls, and you can see them disappear last because they just float in midair. Reading through this now, I know this is from the 80s, but it just came through to me that the amount of inner monologue, obviously you gotta fill the reader in. Have you met Phil the reader? But you got to fill the reader in on what's going on. But between us, Jamie and I make a respectable salary, yet we still have to get who the hell
she
thinks
the time it takes to get up the stairs. That's a huge inner monologue.
That sort of old school comic exposition reads like when you're watching anime today, especially something like Death Note, where you're consistently hearing the exposition in the character's head all the time, and it's super cheesy.
Right.
The Japanese love internal monologue.
I love this bit about when Kitty Pryde, the future Kitty Pryde, comes back. Her spirit comes back. From 30 years in the future, and she's in Kitty Pryde's body, and A, creepy his face, B, she looks like a kid, but she stands, talks, moves, and smells like a woman.
Exactly, and now we know that Kitty Pryde is actually a man.
Dude, she smells like a woman.
Right.
Who the frick wrote that?
A virgin.
We're gonna have to go back and dub over Vinnie Jones's voice every time he calls Kitty Pryde a bitch in Last Stand. Because he's always saying, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
What would he say instead, fella?
I'm the Juggernaut, mate.
You twat.
You big male twat. Who fucking thought Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut was a good idea? What a spanner.
Well, I'll tell you who it was. It was Matthew Vaughn.
Well, he's a twat. That is the worst idea ever.
Because he'd done the Lock, Stock and Snatch movies with Vinnie Jones. She was good in. And then he cast him in X-Men 3, and he was fucking terrible. And it ended his acting career pretty much.
Yeah, it did, yeah. He was basically
He was
in a
so
blow-up
bad.
sumo suit with a helmet on. It was awful.
Yeah.
Oh, my first picture. Let's do voices. Let's do voices. First of all, Ben, you could be Jean, and Max, you can be Cyclops. Okay.
Oh, mate, I would, but I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't read.
Oh, okay. Then Buddha.
Yeah, Buddha.
I was never adopted.
Oh, sorry, that is Cyclops. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, Buddha. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Ben, you're Jean. Yeah, sorry. This balloon is going towards Cyclops. Mea culpa. Right.
Impromptu acting. I was never adopted. The orphanage was the only home I knew until I ran away. Saying all that isn't easy, Jean. Especially when you keep stacking your tongue in my mouth.
Stacking?
Sticking.
Ben, can you read
It's
your
very
lines, please?
small on my screen.
Ben, can you read your lines, please? Go.
Rob, I think you'll notice the spelling mistake in that last line.
It is uncomfortable doing it on camera, isn't it?
Dude, well, the thing is, I mean, like, I just came to this panel and he's like giving all this like exposition, and then like I just thought, I can't leave that. I can't leave that as it is. I've got to add my touch, you know? Right. Sorry.
Good job he wasn't getting off with Kitty Pryde.
Oh, she smells like a woman.
Stop sticking your cock. It's hard for me to say when you keep sticking your cock in my mouth.
Oh, jeez. Why did I bring this up? Oh yeah, one thing, right? Okay, I did a bit of academic research concerning science fiction, right? And one thing that I read was this fallacy of infinite wealth, that people would like create some kind of system, some kind of spaceships. They would have the absolute money for it, and then you've got this quad era demonstrandum. You got this guy. In no time at all, we were fighting for our lives in Murder World, an assassination amusement park run by a nutcase killer for hire named Arcade. Damn, he must be on a good hourly rate to be able to create Murder World. You know, that is like weird. Yeah. So this was all part of the introduction to the lead up to Days of Future Past, when Jean Grey dies, and Cyclops is explaining what has happened with a full history of the X-Men.
So is this at the end of Dark Phoenix?
Oh, hang on one second. This will be hang on. Dark Phoenix, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. Ask me about that later. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
That I don't know. Is that where Jean Grey dies?
I mean, she does die at the end of Dark Phoenix, right?
Okay.
Or somewhere in between Dark Phoenix and then the Phoenix brings her back. But I don't know if between her dying and then the start of the Dark Phoenix saga, whether there's a gap where there are other stories.
Okay.
What's wrong with Murder World, dude?
What's wrong with Murder World? It's like, yeah, worst theme park to be copied in France. You know?
Dude, don't even talk shit about Murder World, dude.
Yeah, you got like one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast near Florida. Oh, sorry,
dude, my dad works at Murder World, dude.
Keeping in Disney.
Is that Chris Christopherson in the bottom right?
This, I know, eh? Yeah. Oh yeah. Why did I? Whoop! Hello. There we go. Why did I bring that up? Yeah, he'd hooked up with an outfit called the Hellfire Club, and I'm thinking, oh, Hellfire Club is kind of, like, are they these guys?
Well, it's the same name.
Is it these guys?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say both of those things.
So is it these guys? Mind you, you got a bit of both going on there. I mean, I
heard of Jason Wingard.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the Hellfire Club is a real thing, in real life.
Yeah.
It's an actual satanic fucking cult. You know, like they're like Freemasons basically,
right?
But more explicitly satanic.
Oh, so the X-Men Hellfire Club was like a riff on that, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that they actually keep the name, not the, like very often when you've got something like that, that comic creator will actually change the name somewhat.
Right. Exactly. It might have been like the Freemasons, like
right? The slightly less expensive Masons.
Exactly.
Maybe it's
the indentured servant Masons.
Yeah, the character of Jason Wingard is based on the actor Peter Wingard, who played Jason King, the 60s super spy. So they combined the two, and they.
Do you want to do a quick
created a character
Google image of them? I'm curious.
Oh well, that involves me sharing my screen, which
Rob could do it if he were inclined.
What?
Let's Google them bitches.
If I click on share, what happens?
The world ends.
If you click on, we can do this, Buddha.
Click on share screen, then share screen again, then click on
what can you see?
Then where it says entire screen, click on it. So
So we can see your browser history. We can see what you've been Googling before.
Is there a little blue line gone around the square?
So here's Aria's screen.
No.
Well, press it again.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to talk about Excalibur, or you want to wait for Rob to share?
Yeah,
I'm letting Buddha do it.
Okay.
Come on, you're gonna have to learn one day.
So who's ready?
Share your screen, Buddha.
Can you see it now?
No.
Yes.
Can you see me now?
All right, so Buddha, you just look at what you want us to see, and we will see it. Right now, we're seeing something about Peter Wingard. There we go.
You're
doing it.
Oh, that's the character. Okay, so
he's meant to look
Peter
like
Wingard.
Your search history is.
That's
Yeah. Oh, we'll be watching that again later.
Oh my gosh! Look at that guy.
This is Peter Wingard.
Wow, dude.
The actor.
Dude, he's a hunk.
Jason King.
Dude, he looks exactly like the guy from X-Men.
Looks like John Holmes.
Yeah, I'm slightly fascinated by this guy because he released an album in the 70s.
What?
And it's you've got to listen to it sometime. It's amazing.
Do it right now.
It's like he starts off with he does this whole track where he's just inviting someone around to his house and seducing them. He's like, "Hello, welcome to my place.
Wow.
Would you like a drink?"
Can we just back up here? Can we just back up here? How Peter Wingard's secret sex life was exposed by police destroying career of a 1970s pinup who inspired Austin Powers.
Well, that's going to say Powers, isn't it?
It's going to say Powers. Yeah, baby, yeah. Shagadelic, baby.
Oh yeah. He was the guy.
We've never heard of this guy, but he inspired Austin Powers.
Okay, who mentioned leather?
The X-Men Hellfire Club.
Not only leather. Go back. Not only leather, but the hairy chest. And is that like a bandana?
Oh, that's what you were drawn to. I was wondering what he's got tucking down here.
I was bloody not trying to be. Is that a bandana? Is that a bandana? No, he's just well hung. No, I said bandana.
Yeah, he was a real eccentric character.
I think it's called an ascot.
A what cock?
Ass.
Peter Wingard is the track that you're referring to, Jim, called "Come In."
Yes, it is.
Hell yes.
But no, there's even more bizarre ones than that. There's one
that shit
called Rape.
One called Rape.
Yeah.
He has a song. He have a song called Rape.
He's got a song called Rape, and it's
Max,
all about
share screen, and then we'll hear it better.
different countries' attitudes towards rape, and he does them in all the accents. So it's
right.
In Russia, it's far too bold, far too cold to be so bold about rape. And he talks about the Chinese attitude and the French attitude, and he's
well, I would assume everybody's attitude is like against it. I mean, right?
You'd hope so. Yeah.
His album was called Golden Throats.
I don't know what that means, dude.
Nor do I. It sounds really...
Well, you see, it's a mix between Golden Shower and Deep Throat.
Right.
Apparently.
There's one that just goes, Billy was a hippie, Billy sexy queer. That's the only line I remember.
Oh God, was this the stuff that your parents were listening to when you were growing up?
How did I discover him? I think you know what? Morrissey gave his album to Jonathan Ross as a present on his chat show, and I thought this warrants further investigation.
So wait a minute. The character from the X-Men, he was meant to be inspired by Peter Wingard and who else?
Jason King, the character he played on TV.
I see.
It's like he was supposed to be like the TV version of James Bond.
Okay.
Benjamin, share my screen, please.
Oh, yeah.
You know that mustache thing? What is a Dirty Sanchez called in the Spanish-speaking world?
Can you hear that?
Prepare yourself.
Rape.
No.
Recursion!
Is that real, dude?
Okay.
Just play. Hang on.
Just play a bit more.
Yeah, a bit more. I'll tell you when to stop.
That can't be real.
Yeah. Keep playing. No does not mean no.
Bit funky.
It's absolutely amazing how many different kinds of rape there are. There's the Italian rape. More Cinque, quante lire? Look into my eyeballs, you will see the fire. How much lira have you got? Only a quarter? Oh, Madonna, you didn't offer. For that, I'll have your daughter.
Bring your
It's
daughter.
like a hip hop.
That's Italian rape.
Okay. That has to be enough because I'm worried about the YouTube gods and what algorithm the show's going to fall into.
And how many strikes have you had before?
So I'd like to couch that whole segment within the context of us noticing how bad things used to be and how much better things are now. More progressive, you might even say.
Yeah.
So in the future, are we going to talk about the Japanese manga Rape Man?
Yeah. Incidentally,
the doors have been flung wide open.
We are now.
But only in the context of how that's bad and we're not in favor of, and how things are better now.
Yeah.
That
album, entirety, if you want to be disgusted, then that album in its entirety is on YouTube, and I will be listening to it later because it sounds fucking hilarious.
Oh God!
Yeah. Well, you'll laugh, you'll cry, it'll change your life.
It already has.
I got to get into character for this. I got to get into character. Rape is bad, okay?
Exactly, replicant.
Nobody thinks it's not bad, dude.
You believe
rape is abhorrent, okay?
Yeah, we all know that rape is bad. We don't even need to be told.
Bizarre concept.
I'm curious about the song called "Come In" or something, right?
Well, it's actually an ingredient in curry, and it's pronounced cumin.
Cumin. Yeah, it's just.
I'll get my coat. It's.
I'll get my coat. That's funny. That's a good catchphrase, man.
I use it all the time. I love the way that Max is using his screen as his, because I keep seeing the pen coming towards me. I'm like, what are you doing, Max?
Oh, sorry, mate.
No, stop it. Don't draw on me.
The smile on Max's face while he was searching for that on YouTube was like
What is an Excalibur?
Excalibur, that's what happens when X-Men comes to the UK. We get an Excalibur. The cool thing about this is that it's way more relatable, well, probably for all of us Brits on here, than the Yankee Adventures in the main X-Men franchise. So the weird setup for Excalibur is that Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler think that all the other X-Men have died and it's kind of their fault because they weren't there to save them.
Right.
Is there anybody who doesn't feel guilty about the X-Men dying?
Me?
Sorry, please carry on.
So you've got the clone of Jean Grey, Phoenix. She's the other member. You've got the most original superhero name, Megan. And then you've got Captain Britain. So
who's Megan?
Megan and Dodo. Okay, Adi Megan and Dodo Cymru.
Here's the weird thing, right? Because the Excalibur legend is like really rooted in Wales, so that probably is where they got the name from.
Yeah,
like, and it's spelt with the double A as well. So maybe, but
is Captain Britain all mutant? He isn't, is he?
He's in those trousers.
No,
isn't he like enchanted? That's his thing.
Yeah, by Merlin. I used to have the original Captain Britain annual when I was a kid, and it had the origin story in it. And yeah, basically Merlin gives him his power. He had a medallion that he flicks the medallion and then he becomes Captain Britain.
Well, that's not a mutant.
Time.
No, it's not. But he has got mutant powers apparently.
He's essentially British Superman.
Yeah.
And,
right.
What's really cool is like the new dynamic of the team, because Nightcrawler he's like the wise. He's been through the ringer with the X-Men. He knows how to be a superhero, and he's like a mentor for the three women on the team.
Like Banshee and Generation X. I understand.
Right. But then his personality clashes with Captain Marvel a lot, because Captain Marvel is like a Homelander situation. Captain Britain is so powerful, he could destroy everyone on the team. But Nightcrawler's got the wisdom over him from being the X-Men.
Hey, Jack.
I thought I taught a putty tat. I taught a putty tat. Actually, looking at who's that in the red?
Is that Megan?
Is that Megan? Because I think Twitty Pie is saying, I taught a putty.
Look at his little ass.
I did.
I taught a putty.
That's what you birds got perfectly formed
story. They fight goofy villains. It's totally like She-Hulk.
Goofy. Oh gosh.
But it's
I'm into that.
Like an explosive device.
I like that. I like that kind of comic book with the goofy villains. I think it's fun. It's a fun thing.
This is my favorite part of the comic, because it's like the closest I'll ever get to watching a soap opera. Is the love triangle between Megan, Nightcrawler, and Captain Britain. It's that whole thing of like
right.
She's in love with the handsome Captain Britain who's super powerful, but she respects Nightcrawler because he's wise and he's her mentor, and like she's naive and she's constantly flirting with Nightcrawler and doesn't
right.
So it's the Wolverine and Scott Summers thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it leads to really cool fights between Nightcrawler and Captain Britain. later on in the story.
Interesting. I really enjoy his mullet.
Oh, I love his mullet.
Can I interject here that Nightcrawler's in the bath? We were talking about those triangular balls earlier, those huge triangular balls. Surely they would be floating.
It depends what he'd been up to that month.
How old is Nightcrawler supposed to be? Depends on his age, I thought.
Not old enough.
I always thought he was quite youthful, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it's the years.
Well, he's one of the older
on the
X-Men,
surface
right?
when
Like,
you're
he's a senior in the X-Men.
Yeah, he's older than you think, but blue skin doesn't wrinkle. So
yeah, blue doesn't poo. That doesn't make any sense.
Blue doesn't crew.
Yeah, blue doesn't crew. That doesn't.
Blue, electric blue.
Forget it. Forget that I said it. I'm ruining the show.
All right. It's been nice seeing you all. Bye.
Fucked it up for everyone. Sorry, man.
Blue does not accrue. Let me try again.
Blue is my shoe. I'll get my coat.
Arya, what's
moving
better,
on.
blue skin or green skin? Green skin. Green skin.
I like blue. I like blue
Green
better.
100%. Like, if you color swapped or race swapped Nightcrawler for a green skin Nightcrawler, the book is already 100% better.
I think green's closer to like rotting flesh, though, isn't it?
And blue is closer to us.
What color is
A
the
frozen corpse.
Yeah.
Is the green girl in Star Trek, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have to go green.
Yeah, like
green?
Kirk would do a
There you
green
go.
chick,
Yeah.
but like he'd like draw the line at blue chicks, you know?
Green.
But I know it's.
Is that
DC.
racist?
Which is too gay.
It's a fetishization. It's a
Is that racist?
fetishization,
Totally.
actually.
It's selective
Okay.
racism.
Yeah. Positive racism, but you're still a racist.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that it's his tail that's hanging out. Are you sure that's his tail?
Well, I imagine his knob looks exactly the same, just shorter.
If you look for this, image,
Well, I'm sure
on
his knob
Twitter,
is triangular.
it would be NMC
What? NMC.
CW.
NMCCW.
Naked mutant clothed woman.
I don't think that's a commonly understood abbreviation, Rob.
It's specific to this comic page alone.
It's very specific to this comic page.
They didn't have Reddit back then, but they did.
I'll get my coat.
And yet we all totally knew what he was talking about.
Who the fuck is Megan, dude? Why is she an X person?
Because she wears red.
Well, actually, she's French.
Canadian or
She was
something.
her full name is Renault Megan.
God.
She's an alien,
Kids,
dude?
Rob.
It's not being on stream with your dad, isn't it?
Go get your coat, Rob.
It is, dude.
Renault
It is a
Megan.
little bit.
Your
The daddy of Saturday morning cartoons.
I'll
Never
get my
change,
coat.
Rob.
I'll get my coat.
All right, so show me some more Excalibur, bro.
That's it, dude. My
Oh,
Word document only goes so far.
Okay.
I love the Tweety pie.
Yes,
That's great.
that's the thing. Like, one week they'll be fighting Juggernaut, the next week they're fighting Tweety Bird with explosives in his head.
Yeah, I like it.
Like they're scared of him right now because he's like a walking time bomb.
All right, so there's 3 different girls. Which one's
Yeah.
Megan?
Megan's the one on the right in the green.
Right.
Oh, she's not the one in the red.
No, that's Phoenix, the clone of Jean Grey.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So she like picture Jean Grey as the Dark Phoenix. She's those powers but on a smaller scale.
Right.
Megan can shapeshift and fly, and she's super strong. So she's kind of like Captain Marvel. That's Captain Britain. That's one of the reasons they form a relationship.
Right.
And then Kitty Pryde is Kitty Pryde, one of the former X-Men.
Yeah, a former woman. I know.
The big thing in the story is that she feels responsible for Logan dying because he was her father figure.
Right.
So,
Can I just sing at this juncture?
No.
I think I'm a clone now. There's always two of us, just like hanging around. I think I'm a
I don't know
clone
why you bothered
now.
asking.
I think I would like you, Rob, to ask before you say anything now.
He's not muted himself, has he?
I can stay at home while I'm out of town. There's a Weird Al Yankovic movie coming up, and I'm waiting for that. That's gonna be excellent.
Are you going to dress as Weird Al Yankovic when you go
I
and
am
see
not.
Weird Al Yankovic?
I am totally not.
It's
You
not
should
that hard.
be.
You put on a Hawaiian shirt and a wig, dude.
For sure. I had one on a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I just need a big like frizzy wig. Yeah.
And you just need to buy a Hawaiian shirt to match the wig you had on a few weeks ago, and you'll be all set.
look even more like a dad in that Hawaiian shirt.
How do you feel about Taron Egerton potentially playing the new Wolverine?
No idea, but cheers.
You've got a proper stein, the two of you.
I know, yeah, we got like proper beer glasses. We have, buddy. And this one is actually a Guinness glass.
I like Taron Egerton. I don't know if he'll make a good Wolverine.
I don't know who that is, but I'll Google.
No, he's a Welsh guy.
He's
He's a Welsh guy.
Oh yeah, he played in
Kingsman.
B&T. Yeah.
Kingsman, yeah.
Yeah, Kingsman, yeah.
Oh no, it's that guy.
Yo, gangsters. Yo, Daedala.
Yo.
That's
What
not
up?
Wolverine.
Got Hail from Replicant as well. I think Replicant's a new sub.
Hail Replicant.
Hail Replicant.
Sounded like
Katie Curl says, "Look at Tweety's arse."
Damn right.
I said the same.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk? I'm gonna get you drunk.
Rob, you didn't ask.
Hey, better to say sorry
you
than to get denied.
You just did a thing, didn't you? Instead of asking to do a thing.
I totally did.
If you let
That's
Rob
gonna work,
sing
Rob.
enough, will we get
You're
blocked?
punished. You're punished, Rob, for 1
What'd you
minute
say, mate?
in the silent box.
So if we let Rob sing enough, will we get blocked for copyright infringement?
We should set
Or are
up
they
two
that
streams.
far removed
We'll
from
have-
the original songs?
What
We'll
I would
set
have
up
to
two
do.
streams, right? Listen, we'll set up two streams. We'll have one playing the rape song, and then we'll have the other one with Rob singing, and then we'll see which one gets banned first, so we can all.
The rape song's on YouTube.
It doesn't matter, mate.
Yeah, like two
Yeah.
wrongs don't
Don't
make it
care about
right.
your logic.
Two wrongs
No,
don't
but
make it right.
it doesn't seem like we could get banned for the rape song because it's not being banned.
Oh,
but-
somebody's got CBC
Yeah, but-
Maker
but, like,
tool.
It's weird because, like, you can have footage.
Am I
on
doing
YouTube,
this right?
But
Is
but
this
if
right?
you play it on our show, you'll get blocked because of copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that
It's
stuff.
really weird.
That is
All the
weird.
stuff like the
I wouldn't
thumbs
worry
up.
about getting blocked by copyright laws.
Yeah,
It's
there we
just,
are, like,
it switches the stream off until you stop playing the video, and you have like big gaps in the stream.
I thought I put it that I thought.
Have we got many videos
What
like
were we-
that?
We had a few originally when we started.
We had a
Few
couple,
originally.
didn't
We haven't had any for ages, except
Okay.
for the spiced episode, which is why
I remember watching one where you guys just disappeared for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
the spice
I think
episode
that was based.
got banned in a few countries, so we only got like 20 views on it.
Spaced? You mean like the
The series.
Sucks.
TV series? Yeah,
Simon Pegg, yeah.
Simon Pegg. Yeah.
I had to get everyone to watch it.
I like a bit of pegging.
Yeah. Again, Rob, you're not asking. Okay, go on.
Do you remember Richard Herring's pitch to Simon Pegg? Square peg in a round hole. He's a nerd and he works down manhole covers.
Simon Pegg.
Sorry, I think that's really funny.
Actually, this
Square
week
peg.
I got-
I'm still trying to unpack that joke. Square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, round hole. Yeah.
'Cause
And it's
Simon-
a show where Simon Pegg goes down.
Yeah, obviously he plays himself, but
right. So
he
he's
also
the
works...
round peg.
No, he's a square.
No,
peg.
he's a nerd. So
Right.
he's a
He's kind of
square,
a
peg.
Yeah.
So
in
he's a square
round
peg.
hole.
Which one's the round hole, though?
When he works down the sewer, so he has to go down the
Oh.
manholes.
I thought a putty.
The more laboured the joke, the funnier it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is fucking hilarious.
Confucius, he say, he who laugh last does not get the joke.
Well, I didn't know he was in the sewers. That makes it funny.
Yeah.
Makes complete sense.
Where do we get to anyway? I have no idea.
You trying to-
We're totally
Were
sidetracked
we talking
now,
about
aren't we?
X-Men at one point?
Yeah, kind
Yeah, I
of.
think so. Ben, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
Yes, mate. I got something I want to share. I'm gonna share it right now.
Share it hard.
Nice, mate.
I like using the American. I'm assured right now.
Yeehaw.
Well, yeah, that's how I speak, and that's where I'm from. So, yeah.
Y'all.
Nice.
So I really like this character. I think
Cool mask.
he's like one of the coolest designed characters in all of Marvel Comics, and he's criminally underused and not known very well. They basically just like, I don't know if he was created for Generation X. This is from Generation X, by the way.
Who is
There's
he?
the
Tell us.
cover. Yeah, he's called what's he called? He's called Empath or something. No, I got it.
That character design. You've seen the film The Village.
Yes.
Yes.
I kind of reminds me of that kind of like suit with the spines and
Yeah, the Beast.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it's like a cross between that and a space jockey from Alien.
Yeah.
The mask.
Oh yeah, the space jockey thing because of the mask, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very Geiger.
And he's
It
got
is
his own
pretty
font
Geiger-y.
as well, which is cool.
Are we gonna do a Predator
Emplate.
when the new
His
Predator-
name is. Yeah, we should do. His name is Emplate, which is like, I don't know what it means, but it's the word template without the T. But he's a really interesting character because he's basically like a Sith to the X-Men, because his superpower is kind of like Rogue, but way more hardcore. He's basically a vampire that needs to feed on other mutants, because he needs like their mutated DNA or something. And like if he doesn't, he'll die if he doesn't do it. So he's like always on the lookout for. He hunts for younger ones, right? Because he figures like the younger, the more vulnerable, the easier to destroy. So he's like the perfect villain for Generation X, because they're like the younger, newer X-Men, right?
Right. Yeah,
And he's hunting them, trying to eat them. And I just think he looks super cool with like his hair that's like that's like really spikes. It's not really hair, so it's like a hedgehog person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's like the coolest villain ever, dude.
No,
What
Even
was-
looks like
it's a good
Sandman's
idea as
mask.
well.
Yeah.
Does this story arc have a particular name?
Well, it's called Generation X. It was its own title.
Damn it.
Well, when was this published?
1994.
Okay.
And you
It
can
takes
tell
the
it's
village
not-
then.
He's got a mouth hand.
Dude.
Yeah, that's where
Oh!
he feeds from.
He's got
Right.
a round hole.
Yeah.
He has
Square pegs. Square pegs.
square
Perfect.
peg in a
Square
round
peg.
hole. And so yeah, in this version, hold on, let me get the other one ready. In this version, kind of like how Nightcrawler was the mentor for the other members of the team. In this version, it's Banshee, right? Banshee is like the
And Banshee
The-
would be one of the classic X-Men as well. He was the second generation, right? So
exactly.
I get that.
And so in that version, Banshee is like in love with Emma Frost, Ynir, and so that's interesting. I'm trying to find. Hold on, give me a minute. Let me make a new one. I need to make a different CBZ of a different one. But we could
Dude,
talk.
I'm
in the
glad
meantime.
you're like. I like the fact that you're using the CBZ stuff because that's kind of like a cool piece of software.
Yeah. Well,
But it's kind of naughty.
is it naughty?
It's naughty, naughty,
All right.
naughty, very, very naughty.
I'll be more discreet. But yeah, like Generation X is cool because like one of the basically the protagonist for most of it is Jubilee, and I think Jubilee is the coolest X-Men.
Was she born in 1977?
I don't understand the joke, Rob.
Buddha will explain it.
The Silver Jubilee happened in the UK in 1977.
What the fuck is a Silver Jubilee?
25 years of Queen Elizabeth II being on the throne.
Oh, right.
I mean, there's been many, many more jubilees since then. So I don't know.
Has,
we had one this year, so
Yeah.
I don't know why it's
Why don't
specifically.
She
you-
wasn't born this year, was she?
Ben, why don't you know when the Silver Jubilee was?
Yeah,
Bro.
what's going on, man?
I don't understand
What the Super Jubilee is.
I think it's weird. Like, okay, so biblically, a jubilee is like a periodic festival ever so many years or whatever, but for like the whole kingdom to celebrate. So it's like it's weird to me that it's a celebration for all of you when this woman has her birthday or whatever.
Oh,
Like,
mate, we were all
It's not a
celebrating.
birthday. It
Everyone
was
was
25
celebrating.
years on the throne,
Oh, right, 25
which
years
is
on
a
the throne.
terrible case of constipation.
See,
We
and
always,
not
we always
It's
celebrate the
basically
Queen's birthday.
it's an excuse for racists to have their flag hanging outside their house for a week in the UK.
racist.
They don't get to do it at any other time.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
it's a whole other
the
thing.
Uni-
Yeah, but like,
the Union
you've got,
Jack
like-
was sort of commandeered by racists in the UK in the 80s. You know, but national pride and things. So it's not like in the US where everyone can have the stars and stripes outside their home. In the UK, if you have a Union Jack on your house, it
There's a
has
connotation.
worrying connotations. But the get out
But not
clause
in
is
every
when
case.
every 10 years there's a jubilee.
Yeah.
And
I put a Union Jack up on the last Jubilee.
That's the get out. You see, that's the get out. Like Buddha just said, that's a get out. Mind you, you know,
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
got other like
Case
you
in
got other
point.
British
I don't give a
families
shit
like
about
Ben,
with
I
ethnic
was just wondering
background.
if Ben is staring at me in stunned silence or whether he's frozen. I can't quite tell.
He's really concentrating on
He
finding
doesn't
the
understand
file.
the flag thing.
Anyway,
I was
we've gone off
frozen.
on
I
a
wasn't staring at it.
Like that.
I kind of feel I've taken this podcast
gone
down
on-
some dark
oh.
avenues this week.
It
Come
was
on,
a-
and,
it's a
I didn't
complicated
realise-
discussion.
So here you can see. Here you can see
I
the
didn't
team,
intend for
right?
X-Men to get
so
this
you've got
dark.
you got Banshee,
that's Banshee, is it? It looks like Elton John. A very
Dad.
young Elton John.
Yeah, that classic story arc where Elton John joined the
Who's the stretchy grey? On the far right.
We don't know his political connotations yet.
Ben, have
Nobody
you
knows who
frozen
the
again?
stretchy grey is.
I think Ben's frozen.
I guess.
Mm.
Let it go, let it go.
I did. I Wikipedia'd all this earlier. I should know who Mr. Stretchy Gray is. Do you know there's a hero just called X-Man?
No.
Yeah, that's
has anyone read any of X-Man?
They're going to change his name.
There's loads and loads of X-Men characters.
Yeah.
There's tons of them.
In Germany, it's very common.
Of Jean Grey and Cyclops.
And he's just called X-Man.
X-Man.
Yeah. Well, he has a name, obviously, but his run is just called X-Man.
How disappointed would you be in your son if he was an X-Man? You were like, "Oh, what's your name?" And he went, "X-Man." You got no, it's not. You've got to go back and think of something else.
You egotistical twat.
Yeah. I am.
See, in Germany, right, X-Man just means like ex-husband. So there are freaking loads over here.
An X-Man.
So they think that the X-Men is about a bunch of divorcees who fight crime together.
I mean, if you think about it, Black Cat should have been called X-Man.
What?
Oh no, it would be X-Woman, wouldn't
it? What?
I have no idea. I've lost the plot.
He'd be called New Man.
New Man, yeah. Next.
Oh yeah. When are we going to do our episode on Seinfeld?
Well, not for a while because we're doing comic books. We'll do it next season.
Seinfeld, New Man.
I want everyone to watch Urotsuki Doji for an episode.
Your rock socks what?
Oh God.
Urotsuki Dojo. Real quick before I stop sharing my
Max made me watch it 20 years ago. I'm still not quite got over it.
Yeah, you've seen it, haven't you, brother?
Yeah, once seen, never unseen.
Do you know when the last time I watched it was?
Yesterday.
Around the same time?
This afternoon on YouTube. The whole film is on YouTube. You should all watch it.
It was a series, wasn't it?
It was a series of films, but the one that you saw was the first movie.
What is this serious film that I'm watching?
It's a
manga anime.
It's a manga anime from the Golden Age, and it's called Urotsuki Doji, and it's a beautiful blend between fantasy,
I have a feeling
epic storytelling, and loads of cocks.
Pornography.
Yeah. Rock Soccer 2 smoking what?
Urotsuki Doji.
I never asked you this in the day, Max, but I'm guessing you discovered it because you were looking for something along the lines of Cyber City, Weedo 808, or Akira, and what you came across, both figuratively and literally, was Urotsuki Doji.
Yeah.
Hello, Google.
It was pushed to me by a friend at college who went, "You got to watch this," and I did.
You do have to watch it.
This friend, is he still a friend now?
No.
Don't tell me, Brent.
He should be.
Is this what we're talking about?
Yes, Urotsuki Doji.
Erotic horror manga.
Yeah, and they made a full film on it, and the whole film is on YouTube, and you should watch it. Honestly, you should watch it because
there's a part where a woman has an orgasm and it destroys an entire city. That's all you need to know.
Because despite the
she did.
Intense smut and titillation, and also intense violence. There's actually a somewhat of a decent plot there, and I think I just find the film really interesting because it's got really cool imagery. It's not boring or anything. Like it moves.
It isn't boring.
No, it moves like a really fast manga, but it's just crazy. And it was made at a time where animation was still experimental, and the guy that made it deliberately made sure before he even made it that the film was in the sort of the far adult category, so he had complete freedom to do whatever he wanted to do with his story, right? So it's got this, it's so weird. It's got this like big epic fantasy story ensconced in all this cartoon porn and kind of funny acting in places, but the fight scenes are excellent.
Katie Curl seems like an interesting person.
Katie, I was watching it when you were coming in and out of my office today, and I had to keep switching it off because she kept coming in when there were fat cops on the screen. I was worried you'd divorce me.
I think we should get Katie on to talk
But anyway,
about your Rocksucker Dozy.
That's for a later episode. Maybe Saturday night cartoons or something.
This is Saturday night.
Yeah. Well, actual Saturday night, now in the morning.
US Saturday night, which should be about 3 in the morning for us.
Now at midday.
I like the idea, right? Like, what would the search terms be that you put into Google? Like erotic Japanese anime with lots of cocks.
What, to find your Rotsuki Doji?
Yeah.
Just type in your Rotsuki Doji.
Oh yeah, because that's easy to remember as well.
Well, I put it on the screen for you there, so you could jot it down if you needed. But if you like, I'll copy paste it into as a comment.
Yeah, let's see if there's a trailer for it. Let's find a trailer for you.
There you go.
There's a trailer. Oh my god. Will the trailer?
You're gonna have to send it out on the Twitter account. That one, the exact spelling.
It's right there, mate. Uratsaki Doji.
Arigato.
I don't know how else you'd spell Uratsaki Doji. To be honest. I mean, it's basically spelled the way it sounds.
There are one or two ways you can spell it.
Uratsaki Doji.
Uratsaki Dojo. Uratsaki Doji.
Hi.
Uratsaki Doji.
Anyway, it's a classic, and it's worth watching without your children around, just because I want to know what your reaction to it is, because it is.
Well, I imagine.
Dad, what are we going to watch today?
I imagine I would be repulsed, but also enthralled.
Yeah.
So kids, well, the choice on offer is a classic from Japan, or a video where a deer loses his mum to hunters. Yeah,
I'll share my screen, Ben, and I'll show you.
Real quick, Rob. I just want you to read this intro to Amplate. Just the yellow monologue.
As a holographic image shimmers into view, all three mutants can scarcely repress a collective shudder. Such is the effect of the mere visage of the mutant called Emplate.
Was that okay?
Yeah,
Shall I do it again?
Can you just do the Emplate
No, I
again?
think that was good.
Okay.
Emplate.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to show it again.
Katie
what's my motivation, Lovey?
Katie Curl has made a good point about Bambus.
I will do it a couple more times.
Emplate.
That's true. That's true about the deer.
It is true. It doesn't have a giant cock. Yeah, share my screen.
I spent the day watching the X-Men cartoon.
But go to something else, Max, because you're just showing.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm with you. You got it?
Mate.
Oh, we're still on your Rocksucker Dozy.
Hang on. I just want to show. It's only 45 seconds.
Oh yeah, gotta watch.
I don't know. I've never watched this, right? So.
Well, big.
There.
Well, I didn't see any
doesn't sell it at all.
I didn't see any penises at all.
They've only showed you the cool bits and not the sexy bits.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is, if you go into it, just having been sold to it on that trailer alone, it will be it's a completely different experience.
Right.
I was just watching. I've been rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho recently. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that anime.
What's that?
Yeah, you I think you'd
No.
really like it, Max. It's about a Tokayashi High School's #1 juvenile delinquent, and how he, like, this basically this kid's just been like a punk his whole life, getting in fights and not doing anything good, and then he dies, but he dies saving a kid's life. So like they don't, in the afterlife, they don't know what to do with him, whether he should go to heaven or hell, because they're like you're just an asshole your whole life, and then on the other hand, you just saved a kid's life by jumping in, like saving him from a car. So we don't know if you should go to heaven or hell. And they make him a deal where he can come back to life and get his body back, but he has to be the spirit detective, which means that he's like, he works for the spirit world to like hunt down ghosts and demons that are fugitives. And so it's this kid who's really good at fighting, but like doesn't know what he's doing, and he has to save the world from bugging ghosts and demons all the time, and it kicks ass. It's fantastic. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough, to be honest.
I came up with an idea for a concept the other day, and I was at the time, to be fair, making all my problems go away.
Right. I assumed as much.
I wanted to do a comic that's sort of like Transformers, but is also a Cronenberg body horror.
Whoa! Yeah.
So all the characters and creatures, they're biological and not technological. So when they change, like their bones crack, and a bit like The Thing.
But it sounds right. I mean, like, why should it?
So they can change back.
Yeah, they can change back. Yeah.
The extreme agony every time.
God, yeah, they're in super agony, and I was like, I really want to fucking do that, because that's like the metalist idea I've ever come up with.
Yeah, do it. Like, why should aliens on a far distant planet want to turn into a Ford Mondeo?
No, we can't. They can't. They'd have to turn into other biological organisms.
That's what I'm saying.
It could just turn into a car made out of like.
Yeah, like a man truck. You know?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Or a big creature. Oh, that fucking it. Anyway.
It's a great way to come up with concepts, I find, is to just go, what if David Cronenberg made?
Yeah.
What if David Cronenberg made Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No.
Mixing aesthetical genres often come up with a good concept.
Yeah.
Auto body horror. Yes, Replicant. Yes.
And then it's not auto.
Just realizing now, I'm still muted.
He's talking about Autobots.
But like that movie's been made. It's Crash, the movie of the novel by J.G. Ballard.
So this is the one where they have sex in cars.
Yeah.
Right.
But they get turned on by car crashes.
Right. I was explaining to students of mine this week, like, because this network narrative in LA Crash, which I guess they had to change their name because, of course, people were like looking up Crash and finding this like other Crash. You know, I was like, yeah, whatever you do,
it's one of my
LA Crash.
One of my favorite books. Honestly, it's a very good book.
We had a reference to Bambi, and I'm sharing a video.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I guess we're not talking about J.G. Ballard and getting turned on by car crashes. Fine. Whatever.
We can do.
We'll just talk about Bambi. Fine.
Well, this is like Brian Blessed. Now, for the Americans, it might be difficult, but for the American, but for Brits.
Did you share your sound, Rob?
Bambi's mother is looking very worried. She tells Bambi to run, and now they're running through the snow. Oh, and Bambi, he runs and runs and does not stop. And suddenly, there is a shocked pup, and Bambi doesn't stop. he keeps on running and running until sometime in the future he stops. Only then does he realize his mother has not followed him, and he cries out to her in vain.
All right, I'm gonna stop showing that now.
Did you make that, Rob?
I did.
Was that
Many
your
years-
impression of Brian
Yeah.
Blessed?
It is. It totally is. It totally is. Like, I'm so disappointed. It's had like, let's see, how many likes has it had? It's only had like.
Oh, that you really did do that.
I thought I recognised that voice. Well, it's not Brian Blessed, is it?
Yeah, I
If you
think,
want to
I
talk
think we
about
could all
Rob,
tell
that-
it was your voice.
I've had
Rob.
one like on that video, and it's been
Yeah.
up like, I don't know, like 8 years or
And
something.
one like, it's gonna stay.
Well, I spiritually like it.
Yeah, I know.
If
I'm
any
so-
shroomies,
Say what?
listen to me, shroomies. Do not go to that video and like that video. Whatever you do.
Actually, no, Ben should know the video because, of course, it's God, what's his name from Ben from Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Brian Blessed.
Yeah.
Brian Blessed, the guy with the
Brian
big
Blessed.
wings.
Yes,
Yeah,
Brian
but
Blessed.
the film Flash Gordon. God, what's
Yeah.
his character name in that film?
Is it Falcon or something?
No.
Isn't it just Brian
Gordon's
Blessed?
alive!
Yeah, Gordon's alive.
Right.
I recommend watching Brian Blessed being interviewed by Richard Herring. It's one of the most amazing stage performances. Raconteur, big, larger than life characters, just doing very, very funny anecdotes and swearing a lot. It's
Nice.
an amazing interview.
No.
I saw him on not Mock the News, the other one. The news program, the news comedy.
Mock the Week.
No, not Mock the Week. Have
How
I
old-
got news for you? Have I got news for you? And he was hilarious. He was like, he was just Brian Blessed. He was just himself on that show. How much
But
time we
which
got?
X-Man would you play?
The Beast, right?
Maybe Banshee. Hasn't Brian Blessed got abnormally large lungs for a human man? I think that's actually a thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, why is he always shouting?
Because of the thing that I just said, probably.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
It's one of the things he claims. Like he also claims he delivered a baby once and had to bite the umbilical cord in half. And he also claims he once wrestled a gorilla or an orangutan and only won by punching it in the genitals.
Well, I believe
He's a mad old man.
I
believe all of it.
Yeah.
But
I can
it's
imagine, though.
entertaining
What?
to listen to.
He is
Brian Blessed
like
wrestling a gorilla and like he didn't want to. I had to coax him.
I've got you now, you cunt! He swears better than anyone else I know.
Oh my god! Come back here and take this banana.
Poor old Ben.
But he's got a
say
great
banana, I
outlook
said
on life as
bandana.
well. He's
Right. I'm glad you tuned in for X-Men, everyone.
This is how we always wrap it up.
I know.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
how
we
we
haven't
always
talked
will
about
wrap it
what we were talking, but supposed to be talking about for about half an hour now.
Max,
Well,
what
it's
was
just an
what was the one X-Men that you mentioned where they're in the future and
Days of Future Past.
it's like evil instead of Charles Xavier, it's Magneto.
Age of Apocalypse.
Oh,
Age of Apocalypse. Okay, I'm gonna read that one.
Yeah, check it out, bro.
And you're all gonna read Generation X. And next week we're gonna talk about Sandman, just the first arc, the first 2 arcs, right?
Is the series out yet?
No. Should we do it later when the series comes out?
Not going to be for a while. Well, we could do Sandman next week and then a follow-up episode on the series.
Okay.
Or if people aren't interested in Sandman, we could do it all in one.
No, we'll do both if we can. If we have something to say on the series, then yeah, we'll do a show.
Yeah. I mean, the series might be utterly forgettable, and we might think, oh, it's not worth talking about.
Sure.
You never know.
So you want to do Sandman next week, anyways, even though the series is
I'm up for doing Sandman.
We've been talking about it a lot, and I know Buddha and Ben are both massive.
Massive fans.
Real big
Gaiman nerds.
Yeah, so
I'm not a Gaiman nerd like Rob, like Buddha. I might be a nerd, but I'm not a Gaiman nerd like Buddha said that he is. But I am a fan of the comic book Sandman. So
okay,
I think it's my favorite comic book of all time.
I am a bit of a gay man nerd, so I might bring my extraneous gay man knowledge.
Is a gay man nerd a gay man that's a nerd, or a nerd for gay men?
It's a nerd for a specific gay man.
I really got to go whiz. I just wanted to say here, I was playing X-Men Bingo with you guys, seeing which stories would actually get mentioned in our X-Men
it turns out
video.
none of us knows
Three. No bingo. Okay, peace out. I gotta go whiz.
3 more than I anticipated.
Yeah. Turns out none of us is an expert on X-Men. But the good news is, if you are an expert on X-Men and you are frustrated that no one talked about something you wanted to talk about, it's a call-in show, motherfuckers. You always forget that shit. See you next week.
I'm gonna have to put that in the intro.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.
Gotta give it a second.
Why? What are you going to say?
No, because it always comes up with stills. You get like a brief shot right at the end.
Next time we'll all have to just get naked.
Oh, yeah. We should utilize that fact. Full frontal shots.
Yeah.